I got to check out the demo for Galactic Getaway early, and I'm here to tell you all about it. Hello, welcome back to COZIEST. If you're new here, my name is Natalia, and I love to cover all things cozy and gaming on my channel. And in today's video, the team over at Nookazon sent me over an early access demo for Galactic Getaway. And I was so excited to get a first look into the game as they're preparing it for Steam's Next Fest. If you know anything about me and any of my live streams, I absolutely adore Animal Crossing. I have been playing Animal Crossing since its GameCube days and have been a fan for years. Animal Crossing New Horizon really opened up the world of Animal Crossing to a different level, and I'm so excited about Galactic Getaway because it takes all of those amazing elements and also incorporates the ability of playing with your friends. A little bit about Galactic Getaway. It's to transform an uncharted planet to make it your own in this wholesome multiplayer life sim. Befriend creatures to gather rare resources and build your dream home. Play fun mini games, farm crops, and craft decorations as you shape your perfect slice of galactic paradise. The game's key features include befriending and nurturing creatures, where you will form bonds with adorable creatures that will help you gather resources and contribute to building up your home. You'll be able to build your dream home, design and decorate a cozy home with unique furniture and accessories, and there's multiplayer fun. Join up with friends online to build a thriving community or just enjoy the chill atmosphere together. The game will be releasing for PC, Mac, and the Nintendo Switch, which is super exciting as somebody who owns all three things and is such a big proponent of Switch games and games that can run on your Mac. The price hasn't been announced and there is no set release date yet, but make sure to wishlist the game over on Steam, and I will make sure to have the link in the description for you to check out the game and wishlist it as well. For this video, aside from describing what the game is about, I wanted to give you a first look into my first hour of gameplay, cut up into pieces so that you could see all the possibilities with the game. Please note that the demo that I did get early access to is still in beta, and so there might be some bugs or things that the game needs to work on, but that doesn't take away from the amount of fun that I had playing. To start the game, we get a nice little interaction with our little friendly robot, Sam, who lets us start doing some character customization. And you know me and any other cozy gamer out there, character customization is such a plus. So I was able to go through all the different things for the character, look at different skin tones, and pick the lightest shade, as that is what I am. They had multiple options for hair, although, like most games, I always have a really hard time finding hair that matches curly hair, and have found that very limited games have a really good curly hair option. So I resorted to picking some buns, as my backup option always tends to be buns or super wavy hair. Even in Animal Crossing, I've noticed that there isn't really an actual curly hair option. We had some colors to choose from, and I kept debating between doing my natural color, which is a very dark brown, or red, which is also my default for most games if they don't have cute pastels to pick from. From there, I looked through all of the eye options and chose the one that best fit my little cute personality. So the one with little lashes, and then chose the green eyes as I am hazel toned, but the yellow and the brown just weren't hitting it for me. We had other options as well, but no items available just yet for smiles. So I wonder what that's going to look like when that's available. Afterwards, we moved on over to take some personality evaluation. And the thing about this that really stuck out to me was that it reminded me a lot of Animal Crossing when it would ask you back in the earlier days some questions and then automatically determined what you were going to end up looking like. So the difference with this game was that you were able to customize your character from the very beginning to make it look as best to resemble you. So I made my character look as cute and feminine as possible, but the personality test kind of determined for you the outfit that you would end up with. I was wondering where these questions came up from, especially when I had to choose between what my favorite fruit was and how oranges or watermelon would determine what my personality was. I did not end up getting an actual answer for my personality, but I got a really, really cute outfit that honestly does fit who I am. I do wonder how the personality test does impact the way somebody ends up looking and how they determined that these questions and answers would influence that. Shortly after, we got a little bit of an explanation from Sam about the crops and plants and the different creatures that you're going to be interacting with on the planet. And then we ended up on our planet. On the planet, I started playing around a little bit with the camera and realized that it's going to be one of those games where you use your mouse for the camera. And it's not my favorite thing in the entire world, but not a hit or miss either. You could also check out the options in the game and go through all of the different options for camera. So I was able to lower it down a little bit and later on realized that the only reason I would really need my camera was if I really wanted to look throughout the game. So if you're super sensitive to camera motions and easily get motion sickness, you don't really need to use your mouse. You can actually use WASD or the arrow keys and move around freely. We had a little introduction from Sam who told us that we needed to go gather some plant samples. And typical Natalia fashion, I get too excited about wanting to look into a game that I forget what I had to do. I was able to go back to Sam and have the quest retold to me. Afterwards, I gathered some plant samples and brought them back to Sam to see what the next step would be. One note before bringing it back to Sam was that I really found that the gathering part was really interesting. The shovel made me think of Animal Crossing, but the actual gathering of the materials, they had more of a paper-like element to them, kind of in that Mario style look to it, or even a newer game like Echoes of the Plum Grove, where you dug up the crop and it had more of a paper look to it. I thought it was really interesting combining that with the more 3D chunky look of the character and everything else around you. Then I went back to talk to Sam, and Sam told me that I needed to befriend one creature. Based off of growing crops, you could actually use some of the strange fruit that you have or any of the other crops that you grow and use that when befriending creatures. And I thought this was a really cool little element, made me think like I was going to go on some sort of Pokemon adventure. Then I found this adorable pink cat with a heart on one of its eyes. And since I was already rocking that red sweater with hearts on it, I felt like it was fate. When befriending this creature, you're given 3 options, choosing from either talking to items or a running option. When you click the talk option, you have the 2 options of either telling a joke or insulting, and it's just too cute. Why would you ever insult it? So I decided to do the joke option, and it seemed to recycle the same jokes over and over and over again. So then I decided to do the items option and give it the fruit that I had on me from Sam. The bar increased a lot more when I gave the fruit versus when I did the joke. So I realized that that would be the best route, but also one that would require me harvesting fruits. So the cheaper option would always be to do the joke and just sit through the same ones over and over and over again. Once your bar was completed, you then had the option to befriend the animal, and the creature then decided to become part of your little pack and follow you around. So I went back to Sam to figure out what the next step would be. Sam told me that I could check out my tracker app and see some of the animals that I would be tracking. And once I clicked through it, I saw that there were many variations of the same creatures. So the cat option had a ton. And I just kept scrolling through and I saw a silhouette of an elephant and realized there are going to be elephants in this game. I decided to veer off a little bit from the quests at hand and check out what inventory items I had to customize my character. It seems that when you initially start, the personality test gives you an outfit, but afterwards you can actually scroll through all the different items that you have. And I'm unsure at this moment if these will be available to you when you start the game, or if these are items that you're going to unlock as you play the game. But I found that they had a number of different top options, bottom options, some shoes options, accessories for your head, as well as glasses and backpack options. So I decided to go through a few of them and find myself a pair of cute boots to actually go with my outfit. And always remember to click the equip button or else it won't actually equip at all. Found some cute little matching heart glasses, and a backpack and brought my outfit to life. Afterwards, I talked to Sam, who let me know to gather materials for the navigator. I will say I went kind of quickly through the explanation all over again and forgot that in order to activate my inventory, I needed to click the tab button. Once there, I was able to locate what I needed to equip to my cat so that I could actually break down all the meteors on the island to get the resources that I needed for the navigator. Then I got to work. I brought my little pink heart cat with me, and we broke down some meteors and gathered all the resources that we needed in order to fix the navigator. Then I went back to talk to Sam, who let me know that I needed to travel back to HQ for the next quest. Once at HQ, Sam gave me a little rundown of what was here and what would be the next thing to do, and let me know that they installed the Quest app on my phone so that I could actually track quests as I was working on them. I then found another little character hanging around with me, and I thought that was really cute that it seemed that somebody else was playing the game with me. And as I was trying to walk over to go find Udi, I fell into the water, which is just an abyss at this moment. So I fell and fell and fell. Then I talked to Udi, who let me know about the cute charm and also explained to me about the pocket house. And that's where the realization was that I needed to check my inventory and click tab Natalia. When I finally found the house, I moved it from my inventory into my hotbar and was able to place my house down. One thing to note is that at the time of me playing the beta version, and this might be something that is simply in beta and probably not going to happen during its full release, was that when I was placing down my house, I didn't seem to find the option to rotate it so that the entrance was facing the way that I would like the entrance to face. So when I finally settled on a location for where I wanted to place my house, the entrance was not facing the way that I wanted it to face. Regardless, the house is super cute. It did give me those Animal Crossing vibes, and I was super excited to see if there were more houses that I could place in the future. After placing my house down, I went back over to Sam to figure out what the next quest would be. Sam let me know to go and talk to Grandella to figure out things about plants and crops. So I made my way back over to HQ, hit up Grandella, and got the rundown on crops. Grandella is this cute garden dwarf botanist who let me know that I could dig holes with my shovels while having the shovel equipped with me, gave me a little tutorial on it, and then I made my way on over back to the planet to figure out where I wanted to plant some of the apples. Back on the planet, my duty was to harvest 9 apples. I decided to plant my apples not too far away from the house, dug up some holes, put the apples in them, and realized that the fruits in this game grow really fast. I mean, within seconds. The apples were in the ground, and by the time I started planting the next apple, apples that I just planted had fully grown. So I harvested those bad boys and made a trip back over to HQ to talk to Grandella to see what the next step would be. After talking to Grandella, she let me know about the trade terminal and told me to go talk to Udi to find out a little bit more about it. Basically, it would be a terminal kind of like a shipping bin where I could drop off the items that I would like to sell and make a profit from it. Afterwards, I made my way over to Udi, who asked me for the materials in order to make the trade terminal. And once I had those materials, he would make it for me. Then I walked away and noticed that there was no active quest anymore. So I was confused as to whether or not I had made the trade terminal, because he wanted to take a nap and I didn't want to bother. So what did I do when I went back to the planet? Did I do the thing of checking my inventory to see if the trade terminal had already been there? No. Your girl got distracted, went inside the house, and decided to tamper with furniture. I really wanted to see some interior decorating. So I was going through the options and realized a lot of the furniture seems to take some huge inspiration from Animal Crossing, resembling a lot of the items that I have come across in the game. And that's where I was like, this game really does like Animal Crossing. It felt very familiar to me, so decorating, I was really excited to see what the mechanics would be like. What I can say is during this beta phase of the game, the decorating mechanics are not super easy, and placing down objects, I don't really seem to have much more of an option other than rotating and placing it down. Even then, I came across a little tiny bug of when I placed an object and then opened up the app again because I wanted to remove it, it wouldn't let me remove it. And I don't know if it's because I decided to start decorating before the decorating tutorial was told to me, or if it was just a bug that I encountered. So I decided to mess around and see what types of furnitures there were. The only way that they are categorized at this moment is all furniture together. The second option seeming to be furniture pieces such as chairs, couches, tables, bookshelves, beds. Then there seems to be like a plant option, which to me read more like options for things that you would put on top of tables or smaller objects, miscellaneous objects. Then there was this one that kind of looked like painting, but when I clicked on it, it actually just meant things that you can put on your walls. And then the last option, which were rugs, and they had just a few different rugs that you could choose from. I did find myself unable to put a table on top of the rug or a couch on top of the rug. Instead, I had to put everything away from it. So it doesn't seem to have an overlapping feature at this moment, and I hope they really do add that. One of the things I really enjoy about interior decorating in games is being able to overlap items and just make it feel as real as possible. After messing around enough with the actual decorating in the home, I decided to get back on track, and I finally checked my inventory and realized that the trade terminal was there the entire time. So I got the trade terminal out, placed it right next to Sam, and decided to play around and see what it had to offer. It had a sell option and also a buy option. I then decided to sell some fruit, talked to Sam, and Sam let me know that I should probably buy some items so that I can befriend new creatures. My new quest was to befriend some creatures, so I decided to pick 2 crops out to buy, plant them, and see what creatures would come about. The different crops that you plant, the different types of creatures that you will attract. So after my first round, I decided to buy other fruits and crops to grow to see what other creatures would spawn. The great thing about the mini map is that the creatures actually do pop up on them, so you can see where they are and you can approach them yourselves unless you just kind of want them to get closer to the crops area or even your home, as they get really excited to see those things. I found myself interacting with a cute puppy, and if you know anything about me, I love dogs. So I got really excited to finally have a dog creature, and there were 2 this time. A bright neon red one and a classic brown dog, as well as this other little creature that I had never seen before. Besides the cat and the dog, the other creatures had some very interesting names to them, so I was really excited to befriend them. And so I tried doing the joke thing for a while, got really tired of flicking through it, and decided might as well do some of the items since they grow back pretty quickly, and I only need 1 to grow 3, so the math in my head made sense to give some away, sell some for profit, and just keep growing some more. Something that you can accidentally do is as you are befriending the creatures and clicking on items to give them, is accidentally misclick and give one of the discs of the creatures that you've just encountered. And that's what happened. So I accidentally gave away one of the discs, which meant that I no longer had the 5 creatures on me, but I did befriend them, so technically the quest was over, but I didn't want to be that person that didn't actually have the 5 creatures on them. So I harvested the rest of my crops and saw that an elephant popped up on my mini map, and I knew that that was a sign that I had to give up that disc so that I could go and get the elephant. We came up to the elephant and I was so ecstatic. It was this beautiful bluish gray color with some hint of purple on it as well, and it just had the cutest little face. The name of the elephant was a koalaphant because it was a combination of an elephant with a koala. What a cutie. So I gave the koalaphant some items and as well as the classic little jokes so that I could finally befriend the cutie. Then I reported back to Sam, who told me to go find Marion and learn about fishing. So this game also has fishing, which I was really excited for because I wanted to see if it was classic Animal Crossing fishing, if it had some fun, interesting mini game to it, or if it was a combination of mini games. Maybe somebody got creative and wanted to put 2 together. I clicked the option to go back to HQ and found myself going into an endless void. I just kept falling and falling and falling. And even though I tried to click the spacebar to jump or the WASD to see if I could just land on some other part of the map, it didn't work. And let me tell you, I freaked out a little bit, because I thought that this meant that I was going to have to close the game and start up again, and then none of my progress would save. But luckily, I had remembered when I was going through the settings option was that I did see an option there for unstuck, which I've noticed some games have had installed in it. And I'm not sure if it's all games have it or just games that are in beta or alpha testing. But then I clicked the button and it unstuck me. I was back on the map, normal again. I made my way over to Marion and talked to figure out what the fishing was in this game. I got a fishing rod, but only after collecting the material that I needed. Luckily, a girl likes to hoard onto materials, so she had enough to hand over, and I was given a fishing rod. But in order to prove myself, I needed to go catch 5 fish. So I decided we would start on the river that I fell through into a void, and then eventually make my way over to different areas to see if I could come across different bodies of water. What I did notice with the fishing game was that you click E and you wait for a little exclamation point to pop up. Gave me that idea of the fishing in Stardew. And then you have to use both A and D to keep the bar within the green bar. So you've got this white little line and you have to keep that little line inside the green bar. What I found tricky about it was that A and D seem to be inverted. So if I were to click A, which would make me think you're gonna go left, my little white bar was actually heading over into the right direction. So it took me a second to figure that out. So I wasn't losing my mind trying to get the little white bar in between the green one. But then I figured it out and realized that that's what I had to do. It kind of seemed like a backwards version of Stardew, where Stardew you try to keep the green bar, your fish inside the green bar, and you're controlling the green bar. This one was more you were controlling the white bar, keeping it inside of the green. Then I made my way over to the beach area to see if there were any different fish out there, and also because I hadn't explored that area yet, just to see what it looked like. After I finished collecting all of my 5 fish, I made my way back over to Marion to turn in my quest. Marion then told me to make my way back home, so that is exactly what I did. Back home, my next quest was to talk to Sam, so I talked to Sam, who congratulated me on learning how to fish, and that was when I got the tutorial for decorating. So I was told to open the furniture app and try placing some furniture down. In order to decorate, you have to place the item down and you can click T to rotate it. And then it also said that you could click Z to get different camera angles. I did try clicking Z and I found myself unable to change the camera angles. So I picked a random little pillow, placed it down, and made my way back over to Sam. I talked to Sam, who told me about being able to connect online with other players and the chat feature. So I typed in just a basic little hello, sent it in to turn in that quest. After turning in that quest, I realized that that was the end of it. I didn't have anything else. And if I did, I wasn't sure how else to unlock it. So I turned in that quest, made my way back over to the town just to give it one last gander, and ended my beta demo of the game. And that's what I have for you in this video. If you are excited about Galactic Getaway, make sure to check it on Steam, be on the lookout for updates, and follow the channel if you want to keep up with those updates. I hope you enjoyed this first look video, and if you do like first look videos, make sure to check out the ones on my channel. If you love cozy and gaming content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing. And from one bichota to another, stay cozy and see you next time. Adios!